we will begin the session where we left off the last one, I guess. Which was Sarab and Gorthon were heading on down to a sailor's dive that they knew about. There was a tavern that was open pretty much 24/7. They'd left the party, well, all of you had left the party and went your separate ways after an assassination.
No,
Not
Mia,
done
we didn't
by
kill
you, right?
everything.
We were all there silently, all thinking it wasn't us.
For once.
For once, it wasn't you guys.
I
And
think
so-
all three of us went in for that. Sorry, continue.
And so you went your separate ways. Kairoth and Jophiel went back to the inn where you were staying.
Are they
And
currently in bed together?
Yes.
I think they are. And Gorthon and Sarab were making their way down to the Barbasada. The sailors' dive down near the port. It takes you guys about 20 minutes of walking through the dark, dim streets.
Jesus, time to sober up.
A bit of time indeed. The streets are quite...
No, I did not Google it. I'm now driving, so no. God dang it. Every time I sit down, I think I'm sitting on something, and I'm not. Ugh. Sorry,
Yeah,
okay.
because you thought you were sitting on your fanny, but you're not.
No. I have recently lost a lot of weight, and apparently there's something called a butt bone.
A football.
No, a butt bone.
Oh, a butt bone. I heard a butt
Yeah.
ball.
Anyway, back on track.
Yeah.
Please tell me this is recorded.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
So the American living up to the name.
Getting back. Walking through the streets, you can see it's about... Now must be about 1 or 2 a.m. The streets are pretty much clear. You see a couple of people hanging around on street corners. They give you a bit of looks, wondering what you're doing out this late, but they don't seem to be posing any real threat. It looks like if any of them was going to try and have a go, you could probably take them. They just look like the regular basic street thugs.
Alright.
Just don't come back there when you TPK, guys.
Eventually, after 20 minutes of walking, you arrive pretty much down near the docks. You can see the masts of the ships rising up from behind the buildings, and you find yourself at the entrance to the Barbasada. It's quite an interesting looking tavern. From what you can tell, it's actually a ship's hull that's been turned upside down, it looks like. And you can hear
Cliche.
a fair amount of... Sounds like festivities might be a fight within. You're not entirely sure. You see a few drunkards staggering around outside. You see one person that looks like he might be a sailor of some description, just slumped over in a corner, passed out. It seems that it is living up to its reputation.
Well, here we are. Just as expected.
It seems lively enough.
So are the drinks on you for tonight then?
Of course they are. Let me guess. No money?
We'll go with that.
Hmm.
And there's me thinking you were just going to treat lady.
Let's go in. And just before I do, I want a perception check to make sure we're not being followed by what's a face that I don't remember the name of.
The Scoven that one of you antagonized.
That's the one.
No, I don't mean.
It looks like they've changed the Roll20 font, but anyway, yeah, looking around. Oh, that was right. It doesn't look like you're being followed. You're fairly certain that Doesn't seem to be anyone following you. The streets are clear, well, as clear as they can be from the ruffians and the random street thugs, I guess. Yeah. But other than that, none of them seem to really be paying you that much attention. Seems you're all in the clear.
Then I'll duck on inside.
As shall I.
Very well. Heading inside, as you open up the door, you're pretty much met with a wave of the stench of alcohol. It smells basically just like rum, pure alcohol. It seems like it's basically soaked into the wood. It smells, for those of you that had been on a ship before, the inside of basically a ship's storage room. Musty, dark. You can see there's not much light. It's only lit by the few oil lamps that are around. And there seem to be a decent number of tables, some of which have sailors, some of which are empty, some of which have burly-looking men wearing basically torn clothes. It seems that this is where, if the scum of the city were to hang out in places outside the slums, this is probably where they'd hang out.
Oh, so perfect.
For you, maybe. I prefer mine just a little higher class than this.
Oh, believe me, this is really scraping the barrel, shall we say.
Definitely your sort of place, then. And I'll duck off quickly to the bar.
I sort of go scowl and follow. We have no music, by the way.
Did the music and everyone stop as we entered, and they all just turn and stare?
No, I just
Cider.
forgot to and play it. But heading up to the bar, you can see it's quite an unusual sight. It seems to be manned by a grouchy, gruff, old-looking woman, long grey hair, and you can see she's actually missing one eye. And behind the bar, there seem to be two cutlasses mounted in a cross shape behind the bar. She looks at you as you approach and goes, "What will you be having?"
An ale for me, and for you.
Do I know what they serve? I don't know if I would have been here before, I just probably knew of it.
Low-class drinks, ale, grog, rum.
I suppose I shall settle for an ale this time.
That'll be 4 copper, she says, reaching down, grabbing 2 mugs below and filling them up with ale. You can see the mugs pretty old looking, pretty worn. They don't seem to be leaking at least. And she fills them up and puts them down on the wooden bar in front of you.
It's 10 copper to a silver, right?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll pay.
Is there anything interesting going on at the moment in the bar?
Going on in the bar, there seems to be a few groups huddled around. You see one group of sailors at the back seem to be playing dice of some description. You notice others are just sat in the corner talking. It seems to be quite packed at this point. There must be maybe 20, 30 sailors. They seems like they're enjoying a night out before they head on back onto the waves.
Alright. Should we find ourselves a seat then?
Sure. How packed is the place?
It's fairly packed, but there seem to be a couple of tables free.
I'll lead the way towards the one furthest away from the entrance.
There is a table right at the back. If this is an upside down ship hull, it's right in the port side of the ship. So there are some tables right near the back end, which are pretty empty.
Well, at least I'm sure this is a much different scenery from what we were just in.
From one end of the scale to the other.
Got to have variety in our life, do we not?
They do say that variety is the spice of life.
And there are many great deal of spices over in Arcadia.
Tell me more about Arcadia. What's it like there?
It is astounding, gorgeous, and everything is so easy. They use magic for every single mundane thing. It is everything there.
You said Arcadia, not Sarab.
You're
Shut the
not
fuck up.
there.
If you ask for some tea or some wine, why, some invisible servants or a magical hand will bring it and pour it to you. You want to get any city in the entire of Arcadia, there are teleports to everywhere. No need to travel in the wilderness. There are books and knowledge beyond all belief. If you want any form of a knowledge, they probably have it. In fact, it's where I go for most of my own reading, actually.
Sounds like my sort of place. We'll have to travel up there when we get the chance.
Indeed.
I don't
But,
actually remember what our plans was at the moment.
I believe we're just enjoying the festival.
Yeah, that was it.
But there is also a specific city in Arcadia that I'm sure the little one, Toby, would love to see.
Which one?
The great city of Dyrus. The city that never sleeps.
I'm sure he'll love that.
It is the last place that I was before coming back to Kalsasani. It might have been the reason why our 1 week holiday turned into a 2-day holiday.
Yes, I do remember that story.
Worth it. Every bit.
Well, don't expect a loan from me if we're going up there. I'm sure I'll be wasting all my own money.
I suppose that one's through. Maybe I can try and skim some off Toby.
I'm sure if you put your charm on him.
Charm could be my middle name.
I'm surprised you haven't got it changed yet.
I'm not usually the type to change my name between aliases. I like to be known. But tell me about yourself anyway. I know you have mentioned vaguely about your parents when I asked, but not too much about your homeland. Aside from the fact that you have somehow managed to travel in time.
And that my homeland is probably now gone. It was nice, but it was at war, which we played a part in.
War? Like
Between nations.
Did two kings have a little political spat?
I don't honestly know all the ins and outs of it, but probably. That's what they all start over, don't they? Two people don't see eye to eye. One says, I want it. The other says, I don't. One just takes it.
Takes it?
The land. For their own.
Themselves?
Don't be silly. They send an army to do it for them. They may join in occasionally, but
Wait. They'd invade?
they were in the process of. Jeez, now you're trying to make me think, and I wasn't there for the start of the campaign.
Interesting. So, the Wars of Old Tales still existed back then? Huh.
I mean, what? It was 2,000 years ago.
Very true. As far as I have been aware, and my past history and much history before I was born, wars don't happen the same way here.
How do they happen?
There are battlefields in the wilderness. They send two armies to fight, and then whatever is agreed upon, whoever wins gets the agreed upon promise. It's all a political game.
Sounds a bit more civilized.
You would think so until you realize the snakes and the backstabbing in politics.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not all bad. It's a very interesting endeavor, I must admit. Especially those Scovens.
Speaking of Scovens.
Speaking of Scovens, it's at this point that you notice a kerfuffle seems to have started at the other end of the bar. You see the sailors that were playing their dice game seem to have... the tension seems to have risen, and it seems that one of them has thrown a punch.
I take a sip.
I watch on an amusement.
Should we get involved with this one? Because I think this was one of those tasks that the guards asked for.
Remind me again what this task was.
A group of Scovens were being very rowdy at the docks. I did not realize it would be here, though.
We could get intervened, I suppose. We could get... That's not very good English right there.
Is it between Scovens and Kalish?
Yeah, it looks to be between the Scovens and the locals.
What do they seem to be arguing over?
It seems as though locals are, from what they're yelling is, it seems as though they're accusing the dice of being rigged.
Well, how should we deal with this?
Good question. I'm actually drawing a blank on it.
We could try and make them kiss and make up, or we can... Never mind, maybe we don't have the right group to beat them up.
Up to me, you've got a PM.
I do, or who?
Mia.
Oh,
Thanks.
Well, looks like the talking's gonna be our only option then, especially as we have you here.
how many people are involved in the fistfights right now?
It seems as though one of the Scovens were the one that got punched. They picked up their compatriot off the floor, and it seems as though it's about 3 Scovens versus 5 Kalish at the moment. None of them seem to be purely armed. None of them seem to have weapons. You see one of them sort of reach down for a bottle, another one's got a stool. It seems though the rest of the patrons are just kind of sat watching.
Does it look like this is a hourly occurrence in this sort of place?
It does look. It seems most of the patrons seem to think it's a pretty usual thing. I mean, some people are sitting at their tables, just completely ignoring it. Some people are watching it. You see another group of Scovens seem to be passing money between the two of them. And somebody's just at the bar, just seemingly talking to the bartender while this is going on.
Maybe we shouldn't get involved.
No.
Who does it look like is winning at the moment?
I'll say they picked up the scrimmage, and now it seems as though they're starting to throw their punches properly, and it seems as though while the Kalish are putting up a good fight, it seems the Skobans really know how to throw a good punch, so they seem to be winning is a strong term. They're both getting the bejesus beaten out of them, but what's that? You can you roll perception actually?
Sure. I just thought it was just in case. It's a rule as well.
You notice while the fight is going on, the person talking to the bartender seems to mention the name Azayan.
I will need reminding which one Azane actually was. I know it's one of the names from Kai's.
That's the guy Kai does not like at all. It is Kai and Azayan both served under the same mentor. And giving this person a close look, they look like they might be from the Badlands as well.
Huh. Hey, Gothon.
Hmm?
Outsider perspective here, and I subtly point towards the person at the bar.
What about them?
Does it look like she would be, say, from the same place that you would assume Kai was from?
They look vaguely the same style.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, all I know is you guys, and Kai says he's from the Badlands. I don't really know much about anyone else, so possibly.
Fair point.
Why?
I overheard a name that Kai has told me before. Maybe they know each other.
What name?
What name?
Azayan.
I say that.
Why would Kai have mentioned this? For what reason?
One of Kai's many individuals he's had a spat with. Although this one actually comes from the Badlands as well, rather than someone he just met on the street, like the blasted Skargians.
Did Kai try and kill this one too? I mean, I
The
know he
name?
claims the arena was that accident, but I'm not so sure with him.
Oh no, I can assure you that one was an accident. I've seen him fight quite a few times. Although I get a feeling he would probably want to do that a bit more sometimes. Huh. Feel free to join me if you want, but I'm going to go have a chat, if you don't mind.
There you go for it. I'll come up with you, but stand just a little way. Just in case if anything happens, I'll be there.
Oh, such a gentleman. Or gentle elf, I should say. I head on over to this individual.
Fair. You have them over. How would you get their attention?
I walk up to... They're talking to the bartender, aren't they?
Yep.
I walk up to the bartender first. Excuse me, I'm terribly sorry. I take it this is the normal dealings over there between the Scovens and the Kalish?
Yes, it's normal dealings. If they start to get too rowdy, I'll just get down one of the cutlasses and make sure they don't do this again.
Very good. I like your style. And, oh, I'm terribly sorry for interrupting. What might be your name?
My name is Noor, and that's fine. I don't think this conversation was giving me what I was looking for. Thank you anyway, I tell the bartender.
She nods curtly.
You were looking for something?
Someone, a woman named Neray?
Nerei.
Nerei.
Are you able to describe this woman at all?
Um, well, she would be old enough to be my mother.
Is it your mother?
It might be my mother.
I might have something you might find interesting, and you might have something that I might find interesting. We have the table over there if you'll be so kind to join us.
I would love to. I'll have one of your ales.
The bartender nods. Says, "That'll be 2 copper," and gets another old mug out. Doesn't look as bad as the other ones, but fills it up with ale and puts it down on the counter.
All right. 2 coppers. Marked down.
Once we're sat down,
I'll pick us up another couple of drinks and then join you at the table.
I give you a wink. So, Nor, yes?
Yes. And you would be?
You can call me Muse.
Gorthon. Hi.
How does Nor look, by the way?
She's 5'8", if I remember properly. She has long dark hair, kept in a loose braid, and there are markings on her skin, like blue swirls on her skin. If you look closely, they don't seem to be tattoos, they seem to be natural. And you can see that her ears are slightly pointy. But she doesn't look elven. If you've seen sylphs before, which they're pretty rare, so I don't know if you have, you might recognize her as a sylph.
I don't think they would have. Well, they might have in their travels actually.
I might have come across maybe one, but I don't think so. I mean, I've only come across like a couple Ifrits before.
I take it we wouldn't have.
Oh no, not that you can recognise. They look similar. Something maybe the eyes. You're not quite sure if you've seen someone who looks like them before.
Yeah, she has fairly tan skin, but piercing blue eyes, the exact same blue as her markings.
Okay.
How do Gorthon and Sarab look?
Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Oh well, mine's easier.
Okay.
Gorthon is your typical elf. He's 6'2", blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin. He could pose as just a general commoner if in an elven kingdom, because he looks no different from everybody else. There's no markings or anything like that to distinguish.
Muse is about 5'5", very slender, petite build, but just has the curves in the right perfect locations. A picturesque human with a darker skin, I'd say light caramel brown. Her hair goes down just past her shoulders of a straight, smoky auburn colour, and her eyes are a shimmering emerald green, almost piercing through with some unknowing charm. As she speaks, you notice the incisors, the canines, sorry, are just a little sharper and pointier than one would assume. And she at the moment is wearing just sort of the standard, not commoner, but traveler's gear of what you've probably seen around, very much like the browns and the creams. So, forgive me if I'm mistaken, but you are from the Badlands, no?
I am. Did you overhear that?
We have keen ears. I apologize for eavesdropping. I know someone else from the Badlands who has name-dropped the same person I heard you name-drop.
Naray?
No, unfortunately.
Oh.
Zayn, I believe it was.
Oh.
Oh?
So you know someone who knows Izayan?
I do. I would love to be enlightened about a little more of this Zayn.
And what's in it for me?
Name your price. I can bring a lot of entertainment. As I gesture towards the bar fight going on at the moment.
They are still just beating the bejesus out of each other.
Noah's eyes look up and down your figure, and I'm sure you can. What do you want to know about that freaking slaver?
That does sound familiar now that you mention it. Anything, I am just genuinely curious. I should mention, due to your tone of voice, the individual that I know that has mentioned him also does not like him.
Well, that makes me feel better.
It is what I'm here for, darling. Let us
Yeah,
actually
back.
start beforehand. What brings you to this land? How long have you been here for?
The city? I arrived a few days ago. Out of
Have you been?
the Badlands. It's been a few months.
You've just been traveling the Dwarven Kingdoms before you arrived here then?
Yes, I was hoping to find people who travel a lot around here who might have a lead for me. Then it's a bit difficult asking for someone who might have been around here over 60 years ago.
My ears perk up at this. Over 60 years ago? That is a long time ago.
I suppose it is for most people. Not for everyone, though.
Where was I 60 years ago?
You were around 60 years ago?
Oh, I know, my looks. They're very deceiving.
You are more
seem
and more
like
interesting.
Aren't I just? I did not feel the need to hide what I am to someone who is just as different as me.
Different.
Dampier at your service.
I am a
And
sylph myself.
a sylph. I want to say the ones from the elemental plane of air.
Well, someone in my ancestors was, yes.
I haven't met any of your kind before. I've only met your more fiery cousins.
They tend to be a bit less pleasant, bit more rowdy.
I beg to differ. But that is my own personal judgments. So, may you pique my curiosity further, since I'd like to know more about this individual that a friend of mine knows.
To be honest, I obviously don't know him personally.
Oh.
Don't get your
Well,
hopes up.
I did indeed, and they are now shattered.
I'm sure I can make it up to you.
I'm sure you could. With formalities out of the way, I suppose information for information, if I'm being kind to a new individual, someone who's lost, and helping them out on their ways. Is there anything else you would like to know from me?
Do you know, except for your friend, do you know or have heard of anyone from originally from the Badlands or who would have gone through the Badlands?
Aside from my friend, unfortunately, no. I don't come across many people from the Badlands. They don't usually make it out of the Badlands, from what I've heard.
It's mostly that, you know, life outside is so different. We live the ways we live, and usually that's hard enough without braving the unknown, I guess.
Side note, by the way, and I've just looked back at my the history. I actually did start to explore Al Sasani in my 60s, which would be 60 years ago.
Ah,
That was a weird coincidence. um, would I have heard anything about it?
uh, you might have heard like a rumor or two of like someone from a new person from the Badlands came through. I was gonna say, you depending on where you're listening, you might have heard a rumor that they were making their way to Arcadia.
God, are you kidding me? Because that's where I was heading as well. Although in different parts of Arcadia, I suppose. I just remembered. About 60 years ago, I was passing through this area. I picked up a rumor, as my ears do, that someone from the Badlands had passed through. Like I said, you're a very rare kind around here. When you don't easily fit in anyway. I think I might remember something about the direction they possibly headed in, but I cannot be too sure.
At this point, any lead would be better than nothing.
Gorthon, would you be averse to having another tag along to our little party over to what will be soon our new holiday?
I'm going to assume I heard all this conversation. It wasn't okay. And say yes. I don't mind at all. The more the merrier.
You're an interesting one, and I like interesting. Where are you staying in the evenings in this great city?
Where am I staying in evenings in this great city?
There's a small inn on sort of the south side, just in the leisure district.
That. I say that.
Do I know the name of it with where she's described?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, you'd know the name of it. It's the Riverside.
The Riverside. How far away is it from the Dancing Gin?
The Riverside's about maybe 10-minute walk.
How many rooms? How many nights do you have there currently?
I've paid for tonight. I don't know how long I'm staying here, so I tend to pay day to day.
It is the sensible thing to do. Well, we're currently staying at the Dancing Gin, if you can find your way over there.
The Dancing
Oh,
Gin.
Yes,
That's
it is.
ironic.
It is one of my favorite locations in Asasani. It is the inn with the oasis in the center of it. You might even find me in the middle of that oasis. We can meet there in the morning, and I can introduce you to another of your kin.
That would be interesting.
And you can have all sorts of complaints about this slaver that you seem to both hate.
That also sounds interesting.
I should warn you as well, in our group there is also a halfling that is very easy to get lost, if you catch my drift.
I am not sure I do.
He can go missing a lot, and so does half your stuff sometimes, so keep an eye out.
If for whatever reason he has gone missing, he was just there, just ask me first before you make a scene, because I'm probably holding him. He likes to be carried, as strange as that sounds.
She looks at you like,
Yeah,
Are
it'll
you
it'll
people?
make sense. Oh, you think that now?
Wait until I say the next person on our list. You don't have anything that would make you averse to anything holy, do you?
no.
Then you will get along just fine with the last one.
Alright, I'm not especially religious myself, but
No, but I just have a big allergy to that.
allergy.
Let's just say that normal magics, the way they heal and give life to normal individuals, messes with my complexion.
Oh, that would be a pity.
Quite so. Oh, one more thing. I should introduce you to Sarul. And a shadow creature that looks like a mimic of Muse. Sort of leans out of the wall and sort of silhouettes around Muse. Doesn't make a sound though. This is Sarul. She is my shadow. My guardian.
Interesting. More and more interesting.
Why do you think I showed you her? And with this, may I ask what you do? Or what you can do?
What do I have that I could show without destroying things? I'm sorry, I don't know my spells yet.
Oh, you're just gonna fit in just fine with us.
Cantrips?
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna produce a mage hand and wave it at you.
Lightning
Maybe,
bolt. Just lightning.
Maybe push some of your hair back with it.
In terms of cantrips, Mage Hand, Detect Magic, Mending, Prestidigitation, Breeze, Message, Read Magic, Dancing Lights, and Jolt.
Yup.
Nice.
From after you mage hand, I back and make a mage hand to mimic the same action back.
Mage hand battle.
More like mage hand flirting.
Basically. I see you're of the more magically inclined.
You could say that.
From the arcane schools, I take it.
Indeed.
Finally. I am surrounded by those choose nature as I gesture towards Gorthon, or the holy light. Your new mutual friend can also do some minor tricks like ours, but his... You'll know when you see him that he is not a caster, shall we say.
Well, I am what you would say, what you would call a caster. And I do have more than just a hand.
I should hope so. Well, we shall probably be here a while enjoying the very, very sights of this fine establishment. And, well, Gothon, we don't need to sleep, do we?
No. Do we need to either? No. No, we're good to go.
Then we should be here all night. In fact, if you stay with us, you probably might need to sleep. But if you happen to stay with us all night, we can take you back to the Dancing Gin in the morning.
That sounds like a plan.
I still,
Go on.
I still have one more cast of keep watch.
Or you could join us for the entire night and not sleep either.
Well, that sounds like more than a plan.
I hold up the mug of ale towards you. Like a cheers.
I clink my crappy mug of ale with yours.
To new friendships and new companions.
That's what festivals are all about.
I down the rest of my drink and go to the bar to get another 3.
If the ale is crap, I'll probably cast prestidigitation. I cannot.
Prestidigitation.
I can say it in French. I cannot say it in English. To give it a bit of a better taste.
But it does
Because
taste like
why not?
pretty. It does taste pretty bad.
Yeah. So I'll try to make it taste a bit less bad.
Just make it taste reasonable. It doesn't taste like, a super high-end elven
It is
brew.
only a cantrip. It can't do miracles.
I mean, making that ale taste at least decent is a miracle. But heading to the bar, you can see the bar fight has progressed. You see a stool's been broken. It seems someone's head has maybe also been broken. You can see it's starting to up. The rest of the tables are sort of starting to get annoyed, and you can see the bartender is looking mildly annoyed, sort of tapping her hand on the bar and glancing between the bar fight and the cutlasses. You can see some of the, it seems more regular patrons by the look of them, seem to be getting mildly worried at this.
Is the fight still continuing?
The fight is still continuing. It seems like they haven't noticed the glare.
Are they in between me and the bar? Are they like off to the side?
They're kind of off to the right-hand side, maybe 10, 15 feet away.
So I don't just get to push through the middle of them to get to the bar. Damn.
If you took a roundabout route.
I'll just go straight up to the bar and order the drinks and just say, these fights, do they normally go on this long, or you're looking a little worried there?
Normally they go down by now, but if they keep this up, if they break more chairs, I'm gonna break them. You can see this old woman is manning the bar, looks very, very angry.
Which ones?
Go on.
No, you go first. Your
No,
conversation.
Go.
I was gonna say, which ones look like they're losing now?
It looks like the locals are losing. You see, one of them's the one that's had his head smashed by a stool. Another one seems to be knocked out, missing a few teeth, bit of blood dribbling down the chin. It seems as though the Scobans are not taking any prisoners.
How many to how many?
3 to 2. 3 Kalish to 2 Scobans.
Oh, they got rid of one.
I crack my fingers. I roll my shoulders and I cast Hold Person twice, one on each Scoban.
As you're doing that, I'm just going to talk to the bone. As I was going to say, would you like some help dealing with them?
Sorry.
That might be useful, getting rid of these Scobans. Never liked them. Bunch of savages under the dress of merchants.
No worries, I'll give you a hand now, and I'll like turn to the table and just like wave my hand to like come and help me at them.
I'm gonna presume like I think it's a 12 and a 4. Don't succeed. As a spell save DC.
I don't succeed.
As I take 2 steps in, waving my hand to help, I just turn straight back round to the bar and say, "Well, that was easier than I expected."
Spell DC will for 20.
Jeez. So, now they're incapacitated, what would you like us to do with them?
Well, I mean, they're paralyzed for the moment, so now the Kalish just beating them up while they're paralyzed.
I'm rolling a dice for a reason. While they're paralyzed, they just kind of stop. The Kalish kind of realize this, and they pick up their bar stools and just smash them over the head with them. And the Scobans drop to the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Once they're both unconscious, then I'll dismiss it. And then just turn to Gothel and go, "Sorry."
Thanks.
Well, that was efficient.
I had my fill of my entertainment, I suppose.
Lots more Scovens to add to the list that don't like us anymore. Hopefully they didn't see you casting it.
I think they were far too drunk.
You can see the bartender kind of motion to some old grizzly sailor-looking people. They're pretty big, pretty tough. You can see these ones actually have weapons on their hips. Motion towards the Scovens, and these people stand up, pretty tall, about 6 feet, and they just make their way over to the Scovens, sling them over their shoulder, walk to the door, and just throw them out. And then they take their seat back down at the table nearest the bar.
I give them both a wink if they looked in our general direction.
I'll say one of them didn't, just smirks a bit. So it seems to enjoy doing his job.
You say there was 2 of them there?
Oh yeah, it was two big bouncer looking sailors that just chucked out the Scobans.
Slowly running out of spell slots here. Good job it's the end of the day. Well, that was easier than I expected.
I was expecting to at least having to raise my fist, but that way works too.
I apologize that I could not allow you to show how much of a man you were.
You know me, I'm not into that sort of thing. I'm much happy to sit in the back line without getting my hands dirty as such. Honestly, I was getting a little scared.
And this is why I find you very interesting. You're not like the usual Kalish man.
I don't think I'm like any man. Mostly because I'm an elf, but...
Well, you have me there.
Yeah, my particular skill set is not like most of the people that seem to live around here.
No, but one that'll keep you alive. More so than those that live around you.
Being alive is good.
Life needs things. I suppose, we just make merry for the rest of the night then? Unless there's anything else anyone wants to do or say.
Night and morning.
Yeah.
So how much is this going to cost me then?
How much do you drink?
Oh my god.
Pay what you want.
Drink per hour would be what, 8 hours?
Pay however much you think you'd pay when, what is it, 5 mugs of ale is 1 silver. How much ale do you go through?
I will actually sit here and work this out, yes.
Nor wouldn't want to be too drunk.
Fair. So a light drink. I'll say, does Sarab drink a lot then, or?
After the events of last night, yeah, I'll probably drink quite a bit. I will drink however much Gorthon puts in front of Muse.
That's a brave thing to say.
Is that the Sarab thing to say, or is that an Umbra thing to say?
Hey, why not both?
I will leave Hobbit to do the maths for that, and we can just time skip. As the sun starts to rise, you can see as time goes on, some of the patrons leave and go back. Some more patrons arrive until about the time where you can see through the hatches on the ship are opened up as windows, and you can see light coming through those and the cracks in the door. You see an old man, old grizzly, long beard, braided. Then you can see though he's got seems of Kalish descent. He comes out from the back and takes over manning the bar from the woman. Seems as though she works the night shift and he works the day.
I see who the braver one is in that group. I imagine we start making our way towards Dancing Gym. Unless anyone wants to do anything. Or say anything.
You said it's now pretty much dawn, right, Vincent?
Yeah, it's now pretty much dawn.
Unless Ray disagrees, Kai's getting up about this time. I don't know what Joffrey's morning routine is.
Question is, do we get back like or not?
Well, I mean, doesn't he need to get up at 8 at the earliest? Because we left at midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have to keep watch on us. We just have to sleep the rest of it off.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say Kai would probably be getting up right as the rest of the group gets back to the room.
Oh, rip.
How many
Ray, you here?
drinks?
Hmm?
How many drinks has Muse had, and how drunk is she?
Probably pretty Russell? I don't know. How many drinks did she have, Hobbit?
I
The
got
laugh.
I got bored of working out, so I just marked off 5 silver and thought, why not? Because ale's cheap. I suppose we'd take some shots of rum in there too. So 5
You're
silvers.
right, Rosald.
5 silvers, technically 50 ales.
25 ales.
25. Sorry.
You're absolutely sloshed.
Once we get to the dancing gin, giggling like a schoolgirl, I take Noah by the hands and run up the stairs to our room and kick in the door.
Ray, you here?
She's unmuted.
That's the start.
Progress?
Marco. Dun 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 dun. Oh,
Rip.
I was gonna say, well, you can do it. In the meantime, what does Sarab see when she kicks down the door? Or kicks
You
the door
said
in?
that we're getting up about
Yep.
that time anyway.
Yeah.
Kai
mean-
frantically scrambling out of bed, pretending he's not in the same one.
I mean, by that point, Kai's probably throwing his shirt back on and getting ready to armor back up.
But you see
From
Kai.
what it seems.
You see Kai.
Probably strapping the breastplate back on, honestly.
It seems like one bed has been used and one bed hasn't.
So you see Kai getting dressed with joy in Kai's bed.
I imagine Joffrey's probably getting up at the same time and trying to struggle with her armor because full plate needs 2 people to put it on.
I'm going to say this at a -10 for being drunk.
12.
Don't pay much notice right now.
Meanwhile,
Kai!
if that's the way we're playing it, I am close behind you.
Whereas Gorthon gets a 29.
Oh god, you're
Yeah.
horrifically drunk. Go to bed, Muse.
Sorry, I'm back.
But
Where are they currently?
Oh, just burst into your room.
They
They
just
just kicked in the door. I was saying that Kai's probably strapping on his armor, then about to help Joy with hers.
Though it is quite obvious that you two spent the night in the same bed.
She would have jumped out of her skin when they bolted through that door.
And yeah, you heard Kai's response.
Question is, do you notice there's 3 of us instead of 2?
I push Noah towards Kai. We met a friend. She's like you.
But
Good.
better.
Well,
Holy gods! Do y'all know what it means to knock when you're coming in? Oh, hi. New person. I'm not wearing
What?
clothes. What is...
no, you're not.
Why would we knock? It's our
yeah.
room too.
Joffrey was in nightgown, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but to her, that's like not wearing anything, considering you wear your armor all the time.
Oh god, have you brought one of your whores back from another establishment again, Zarab? What have we told you?
Hey.
What have I told you about shared rooms?
Ooh.
There's Gorthon
I'm sorry,
behind,
I'm
just like,
looking
no,
for something
no,
not too
shut up,
lethal
don't talk.
to throw at him at that. Nope, wrong tab.
And now let me make a perception check as Kai, because Kai is only just woken up, so he wasn't quite paying full attention. I'll make a perception check to see how much attention he's paying.
You've just woken
Actually,
up.
I'm gonna slap you. I'm just gonna slap you, and if it hits, probably jolt you.
Roll
Oh,
to
you don't
hit.
want this argument.
What do I even roll for that?
I was gonna say just roll a d20 and then
Okay. Oh, I can.
Hey Kai, what's your touch AC?
I was gonna say, surely that's an AC, not a reflex.
Touch AC.
What is your touch for him?
I mean, that's AC minus armor because I'm still wearing my magical equipment.
It's just 10 plus your dex plus. Oh no,
I'm still wearing my ring, my amulet. I'm
Yeah.
still wearing the magical stuff that gives me AC, so that would be 18. 18.
16.
yeah, that'll hit.
Menton, my touch is 18.
That's just 16 on the dice, not including all her mods.
Yeah. If it's strength, I have 10 strength. If it's
It would be strength.
dex, I have more.
Yeah, but base attacks bonus means that you hit Kai.
Okay, how does jolt work?
Yeah, she's got a +5 to melee, so yeah.
Ooh, +5.
17.
Your ranged is +9.
So she does hit him.
Yep,
Yeah,
this
she-
connects.
What would I roll for Joyfield to tackle her?
How does that? There is no damage on that.
Whoops. God damn it, Mia.
I think it's a D3 because it's a cantrip. Unless you put it in the attacks. Nope.
It'll be in spells. I forgot to do cantrip damage.
That's alright, that's a D3. I mean,
Ow.
Yeah, just roll me a d3 then.
I'll roll a D6 that I divide by 2. That's 5, so...
That's a 3. A whole 3 points of electricity
Ooh.
damage. So you just got electro slapped in the face, and Joffiel, draw me a CMB to just fucking tackle.
Wait,
Like that
CMB?
next.
CMB, yeah.
I'm leaning into Gorthon. Like, this is amazing.
I think we are just like arm around each other, just giggling our heads off here.
Yeah.
Wait, what's a CMB? Help me.
It's in your attacks.
It's on attacks.
Bottom one of the 4 at the top.
3 at the top.
What does it stand for?
Combat maneuver bonus.
Okay.
You're getting grappled by a very pissed off paladin right now.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. Your CMD isn't gonna be that high. Yeah, you get tackled by like.
It's a
Excuse you, lady. Unlike what your
4 foot,
friend seems to think, I am not a whore.
a 4
Now
foot
get
8,
off.
a 4'8" looking may pass for a human child is like with blonde hair and in a nightgown is just bullheaded and rushed you like a freaking bull and just is like looking down on you like, don't test me, lady, I've had 5 brothers and I will take you out.
Joy, your nightgown's open. That is
I'm
what I
gonna
would say
have a
just
look
to get
at
her up.
Sarab and Gorthon.
Yeah.
And like, so these are the friends you want me to meet?
I think
I
we
just-
caught them at a bad time.
I'm
Give
just
me a second, I
nodding.
need a reply from the DM.
I'm nodding profusely.
Yes.
Like, these are friends.
The answer's yes.
My apologies. I am so used to Sarah bringing friends back into shared accommodation that I didn't even stop to check.
That hasn't
You're from the
happened
bad
for a...
background.
That was to you, Meh.
Sorry, what? I didn't
Because
catch it.
my apologies. I am so used to Sarah bringing her acquaintances back into shared accommodation that I didn't even stop to check. You're from the Badlands, aren't you?
I am indeed. Now, if your friend would like to let go of me,
It's all right, Joffiel. Let her go.
Jofield kind of gives her another little like stern look, which basically looks like a puppy is glaring at her, and like gets up and kind of brushes herself off a little bit. I just don't like people. She kind of stomps away and starts to gruffly put on her armor.
It's all right. And Kai actually extends his hand to I say, my apologies. I have only recently woken up. I didn't think before I spoke.
It happens, I suppose. Although someone from back home should know better.
I haven't been there in 6 years. Besides, I very much doubt your type was the same one as mine, so... different standards, I suppose.
I suppose.
How
I take-
horrifically drunk does Noor look?
Not horrifically. She did not want to be drunk before meeting someone who might have a link to a slaver.
Let's leave these two to sleep off their drunken-headedness.
We are fine. We're fully rested. This is beautiful. It's like daylight drinking.
So Lab, you're standing sideways. Go to
And
bed.
you are standing upside down. I'm going to go get some food. As I stumble out the door and nearly fall down the stairs.
Nearly or actually?
Let's find out. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. Even
Nice.
while drunk, you still have the balance of a dancer.
I think you and I should have a chat once I've helped Joffrey get our armor back on. You know how full plate can be.
I don't, but
You just hear
Hey,
a
still
yell
people to
from
put it
down
on.
the stairs saying, "I'd love a full plate of food right now."
oh, what?
Takes two people to put it on. I need to give her a hand.
I will be in the garden then.
Is there a garden?
There is.
That's how it's been described to me earlier. So
I didn't know.
Yeah? You guys
swear
went
we went
outside
out
and
there.
yeah, you went out into the garden because
Oh
the
shit, we
garden
did as well.
overlooks the river.
I was about to
This
say
is-
Kai's reaction would legitimately have been, there's a garden?
This is where we found out about Muse, wasn't it?
Yeah, shows shows how much attention Kai pays.
We shall meet you out there. Oh, and Gothon, your little rat is in the cupboard.
Trapped. Right. Oh, that thing. Yeah, leave him there. And I literally just fall flat on my face on the bed.
alright then.
As they're leaving, I'm just like, next time you guys should put me in the bag. I could do with the rest. Just, I'm KO'd from here.
Right. It's how long to put on full plate with assistance?
I think it's 10 minutes.
I even get less than that.
It's about 10 minutes before Kai and Joffrey can come downstairs.
No, I thought it was 10 minutes and you require assistance. It's a while.
Oh, maybe.
I am looking up the rules for donning armor.
4 minutes.
I know them for 5
Oh, is it 4 minutes?
Don't
4
know them
minutes.
for
Okay,
Pathfinder.
it's 4 instead of 10 though. Okay. It takes 4 minutes.
Okay, so it's another like 5 or so minutes before Kai and Joffrey come downstairs.
I am stuffing my face.
Yep, they've brought out food. We've got cheeses, some bread, some nice olives. Got some hummus.
Joyfield looks pissed until she sees the food, and then she's just like, "Oh, food? Wait."
Come join
That
me.
was-
Come join me.
She kind of sits down and she,
So, Joffrey, let's go have our breakfast in the garden.
"Oh, garden. Ooh, I wonder if they have vegetables."
And Minton, I'm going to order some food for Joffrey and breakfast for Kai, and I'm also going to get 2 extra rooms.
Fair. Yeah, 2
Now,
extra.
one for the rogue, and only the rogue, and one for Kai and Joffrey.
Fair
I
play
literally
then.
just in future want to be able to open the door, throw him in, close the door, don't have to worry about him anymore.
I mean, that's all one way of dealing with the.
But you did that anyway, just the closet door instead of an actual room.
Yeah, I want to put him in an actual room so he has no chance of stealing our stuff while we're asleep.
Poor guy.
Yeah, so 2 more rooms for the rest of our stay, as it currently stands.
Fair. I think that's 3 silver a room.
Fuck it. I'll pay them another gold.
I was going to say, including your dinner, it should, or your breakfast even, it should come to about a gold.
Takes me to a nice round 2080, so I'm happy.
2080. But yeah,
I had 2081 before that, and it was annoying me. I am that petty.
too much gold troubles. But yeah, he
No, I just don't like odd numbers.
Note to self: give gold in increments of odd numbers.
Increments of 7.
7 and
To
13.
what?
Oh,
To murder you
only
in your
give-
sleep.
Only give amounts of gold that are prime numbers.
But the bartender, I think it was Rashid.
Yes.
Rashid nods, says, "Oh yes, and he gives you 2 keys for your 2 new rooms, and says,
I'll give Toby his new key later.
just dump it in the bag of holding with him." He also says the food will be out shortly. You already eating outside?
That we are this morning.
Oh,
Gonna
I
leave
see.
Sarab to her drunken feast before she realizes how much of her gold she spent.
I will have a servant putting it out to you, he
Do
says.
I
And
hear him say that?
yeah, you'd hear him say that.
You think I spent a penny?
No, Sarab, I think you spent several and you realize that once you sober up.
You underestimate my job. No, tell him.
Nora's outside.
Endor is in the garden.
Damn it, I was hoping you were there with him. I'm there, like, as I say, I'm like looking around, looking for Noah.
No, it is nowhere to be seen. Unless, well, you think you might see her outside, maybe through the open door into the garden.
It's fine, I have an idea.
I'm just imagining Sarab just like, no, where are you? No.
Pretty much.
So what is Sarab doing now, realizing that Noah isn't around?
I'll PM you what I'm gonna do. Continue with Kai.
Alright. Continuing with Kai then.
Then, once it's all ordered, I'm going to pocket the key to Kai and Joffio's room and head outside and look for Nora in the garden.
Perfect. What does Kai find Noah in the garden doing?
It's like an oasis, like a mini oasis, right?
Yeah, it's by the riverside as well, so there's chairs, tables with parasols, and then there's the small oasis.
She's probably sitting by the water, and there's like a small breeze just around her, using her breeze cantrip to keep herself busy while she waits and cool.
You're going to give Joffrey a nudge and head over to the stable then.
Jophia looks a little embarrassed as she kind of comes over, and then soon gets out of it when she scrolls over and sees all the little oasis. It's like, oh man, I only heard about these in like the books when they talked about the desert. Do you think it's like?
It's like we've never been out here before.
She hasn't been.
Which,
So we have?
You
Mhm.
open it once.
I don't remember it. Joyfield don't remember it. Man, but there's no vegetables. What's the point of a garden without vegetables?
So at this point, you notice your food being brought out, and it seems that the plates are stacked quite high. You've got meats, olives, you have even vegetables. You've got carrots, cucumbers, got like lemons on the side. It seems as though there's a wide variety of food on these plates. A balanced adventuring diet.
Oh, Joyful, it's really sweet. I mean, Joyful, bleh. It was like, hi, Kai, this is really sweet, but what are you gonna eat?
I just shoot her a look and take some of the meat.
Just
Yep.
Minton, did you get my message, didn't you?
I did, and it's about this point,
That I burst out laughing.
and you notice Sarab is sat in the seat next to you guys, not hiding her fangs in the slightest.
As I'm just laughing out loud at just Joy's comment just then.
Go home, Salab. You're drunk.
I am home.
No. Go 2 weeks back north, then you'll be home.
Back. Everywhere is my home, wherever I choose it to be.
Really? Because I seem to remember that you didn't pay rent this month.
He'll get over it.
My, you really have become an outsider.
Who? Me?
No. Your name is
Spence.
Kai, right?
Kairoth is the full version of my name, but I go by Kai. And spend 6 years after you get chased out of your own home in other cultures. Of course, you don't retain much of the traits of home.
I suppose.
You say I'm an outsider. What brought you to leave then? You seem so disdainful about other cultures.
I am looking for someone.
And is that it? Because surely you look through the Badlands, you realize that they're not there, and life has to go on. It's happened before, it'll happen again, or did something else bring you out here? As a nat 20 on my sense motive.
You have a +0 to it.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
Remember Hara?
You can
How
see
the
that.
mighty have fallen.
Yeah, you can see that she's kind of reluctant, but not because she has something to hide, but more because it's a bit painful. And if you give her a little moment, she will tell you, my father died, and I am looking for my mother, whom I know nothing about except for her name and the fact that she is somewhere outside of the Badlands.
Joyful, with a mouthful of food, said, well, that narrows it down.
I pat quite furiously on Jofield's hand. You have something to sober me up, right? Because this is something I might want to listen to properly.
And while that's going on, Kaiser just leans back in his chair, hooks his arm over the back of it. Says, my apologies about your father. As far as I know the feeling, but again, that doesn't answer the question. Why would you need to look for your mother, despite the fact you no longer have your father? You look competent to survive on your own, especially with a tribe. Something brought you to leave the Badlands. I remember how it was when I had to run.
I didn't have to run.
You're fortunate.
Have I been sobered up by Jofiel?
Dude, I don't. Spells aren't supposed to work like that. I don't. What do you? Ugh.
The thing you did to my foot, it should work on my inebriation as well.
How do you know more about her abilities than her?
Because I'm well studied.
And she's new. It's like, well, I'm supposed to use it to heal you. Emanation is not healing.
Just do it!
Fine. And she like swallows the last bit of her food and does. What did she do? A heal or restoration?
Restoration?
Yeah, she's gonna do restoration on her to sober her up.
Yeah, it seems as though you feel mildly less drunk, and you start to get the headache of a hangover, but eventually that dulls.
Thank you kindly. I owe you for that. And to Kai, well, I've seen this case before. You lose one family member and you get curious about the other.
Not in the Badlands, you don't. We don't treat with outsiders very often. Something significant has to happen before anyone will leave home.
It was the last thing my father said to me. He told me to go find her.
But why?
I
Why
don't
did you need her so
know.
bad?
I don't know why. He never said a word about her for over 60 years, and suddenly I'm not to chase after the freaking slavers that killed
Kai
him.
sits up.
I'm to look for someone who abandoned us?
Kai is sat up in his seat. Did you say slaver?
I
Do
am
you happen
like,
to know the bastard's name?
I am like just leaning in and just like staring at Nurse.
So is Dorfil while she's eating, so she looks like a freaking cow just sitting there staring at him while she eats.
Kai has gone from relaxed to sat straight up, looking right in the eye.
I'm pretty sure it was a Zayn's group.
That bastard! I thought he would have died after the deal he made 6 years ago. What's
Deal?
happened since I left?
I don't know. He's grown a band of slavers. They're pretty organized. Been
I was
causing
hoping-
troubles to everyone.
I was hoping his deal would backfire and kill him several years ago after he forced me to leave after enslaving our entire tribe at the start of his empire. Apparently I was wrong. I knew him before he turned to slavery. We were friends. Some would call us brothers. And then, one day, he made a deal with a fiend for power. Wanted the power to command others to his will, and he changed. I barely escaped with my life. That was 6 years ago. You're telling me he's still alive now? Still growing his empire of slaves?
That he is. And to be fair, if I ever do find my mother like I promised, I do intend to go back and get revenge.
Is this still sounding like one of your stories, Joyfew?
Kai actually gets up from his seat and walks around a bit and knows that he's hiding the fact that he is pissed off right now.
Kai be mad.
Oh yeah.
One
Oh,
could
yeah.
almost say he's raging.
Not quite. There's no training dummies around to dismember repeatedly.
Marcus, calm down.
Savage. Brutal. Stuck in a frozen wasteland.
God damn. That was cold, Minton.
So what is Joffrey doing all of this? doing during all of this? Seeing
She's
Kyro
eating.
Dormo?
Right?
Those guys walked off to pretty much as close to the river as you can get. Right? Ray.
Ray is KIA rather than REI.
Ray is dead. R.I.P. Well, what does everybody else do then after this happens? Seeing that Ray is...
I'm gonna grab something off of his plate and eat.
I mean, Kai's been taking from the general pile of food in front of Joffiel.
Oh, then maybe I don't do that.
how to make enemies in the party one by one.
I mean, Kai's not particularly possessive over his food, I will admit.
Don't worry about him. He can get like this sometimes.
I've seen worse.
It's going to take a couple minutes for Kai to actually be in a state of mind where he can talk again.
Do you want to find your mother, or is it just a task?
I don't know. A bit of both. I want to know what her story is.
No kidding. Then we might share weirdly similar goals.
So you said that you might know where she was headed.
Oh yes, so I did, and I forgot to mention it earlier. Whoopsie.
I figured you wanted me to talk to your friend first.
You catch on quick. You'll fit in quite well. I believe that she's heading in the direction of... Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. From what the rumors were heard, and they may not even be correct. After all, I've spread many a false rumor myself. Apparently she headed towards the Arcadian League. And this was half my age ago. A long time ago. She may not still be there. But
maybe someone will know.
perhaps. And I suppose you could be in luck. Oh, we are heading in that direction anyway. At the end of this festival. If you don't mind waiting, we could all go together.
And I look at Kai and Joffiel. If everyone is in agreement with this,
Don't know where Ray is.
Think
I'm
Ray
here.
is... Oh, there we go.
I was hungry, sorry.
You missed Kai get... Well, you're probably better at summarising than me, Minty. So I wanted to ask what Joffiel was doing.
Kai got angry and stormed off.
Julie would have followed him. And taking, like, the 2 handsfuls of food as she did.
Nice. There would still be food on the plate to nick then.
then I would have totally nicked some. Just a little bit.
I'll say,
Kai eventually comes back over and sits down, and you can see the best way of describing it. He's looking almost downcast when he sits back down. Seems like the anger's given way to maybe sorrow.
Oh, by Callistra's sting, you're showing emotion, Kai. Are you ill?
Depends on whether you call hearing the name of someone you once called brother turned sworn enemy who decided to enslave her entire people has been growing an empire back in your homeland that you knew nothing about ill.
I mean, I have a half circumstance that I could try to use to empathize with that. Minus the building an army, enslaving the people, and I wouldn't call it ill, though. But I see your point.
It just kind of shoots Sarab a look and mouths the word fetch at her.
Fetch. Oh.
Ling.
Yes, the very one.
I thought as much. I had to know. And my apologies for my reaction. It's been a long time since I've heard anyone say his name that wasn't myself was asking questions about him. You're not going back to kill him. Not without taking him with you. And though I can't speak for Sarab and Gorthon, that will also, I assume, in Joffiel.
Well, all the more reason for me to accept your friend Muse's invitation. Then I can't words. I'm sorry.
Guy raises an eyebrow.
Well, let's just say I might have heard a little bit of information that she really, really wanted. And that piece of information happened to point her in the same direction that we're heading. She's an interesting figure, don't you think?
Vincent, is there like legs of chicken on the table?
Oh, it wouldn't necessarily be chicken, but there's poultry there, yeah.
Kai's just taking a chicken leg and taking a poultry leg and taking a bite out of it.
Say,
Oh,
probably
I
be
thought
like
you
a
were going
vulture.
to throw it at her.
Good job. Joy Bilbo's kind of like put her hand on top of Kai's just very quietly, but doesn't say anything.
I mean, you are going to have three beds free in the shared room from now on, so that shouldn't be an issue. As long as you don't mind waiting until the end of the week once the festival is done and we've been paid for some services we rendered the local authorities. Yeah, well, we were out in the scorch.
Speaking of which, I have another one to claim. Now that I'm sober, I remember that I sorted out the Scoven problem.
Hopefully it's not a terrible reward for doing such a terrible thing.
Oh, please, I didn't even do most of it. They just came along with such paralysis from looking at my beauty, and then the other Kalish men took the opportunity to beat them up.
Nora's just shaking her head, smiling.
Uh-huh.
No
I know
complaints
your
from me.
whims, Salab. I know your whims. Has Sarab fully recovered from the battle with Vahir, by the way?
Oh yeah, I recovered immediately after that.
Fair.
I don't stay at low hit points. I always sort myself out.
So yes, Sarab is entirely healed then.
Fair play.
Can I ask for a 10-minute break so
Yes.
I can sort out some things?
Yep, I was going to say, and with this conversation, I think, wrapping up, we can call a break here if you want.
Awesome.
Sure.
Thanks.
10-minute break. Everyone meet back at like 25, half past.
That works.
Hey, Mitten.
the sink.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I think I put too much chocolate dust into this milk. It's not dissolving enough.
And here we can hear the sound of Umbra trying to make chocolate milkshake.
Or so he claims.
What else does it possibly sound like?
I will not answer that.
But is everyone here then?
Yep, I'm here, along with the cat, who's apparently sleeping on me.
Because why not? So we've
That's right.
we've got an Umbra, we have a Ray. Do we have a Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
We have a Jamie. Do we have a Hobbit?
No.
We have a Hobbit. Okay. We have a Mia. Do we have a Quirty? I'm not sure we have a Quirty. But yeah. So that is everyone then. Are we ready to continue then?
Yeah, my milk isn't though, but I am.
R.I.P. chocolate milkshake, gum but not 5 gotten.
I am ready to, although I'll be muting while I nom.
Nom nom nom.
Nom, nom, nom.
I will probably also be muting because I have pairs. But I was gonna say, where were we last? You guys were having your conversation out in the garden. Dancing Jin. Did you guys finish your conversation, or were you guys still continuing?
Pretty much, unless Sarab wanted to say something about what Joffrey was doing.
No, but it's noted.
Fair play then. What's everyone's plan for the day then?
I mean, what's on in the festival for today?
That, and I also do need to find the authorities at some point. Never thought I'd say that.
I know today there's fights for honor in the arena. Basically, people trying to prove themselves to anyone coming and watching.
Is Marty's fighting today?
Not today. I think that's tomorrow.
Okay. Anything else of interest today?
There's the Bahir fight in the evening.
That I want to watch.
Yeah, I'll be down to watch that.
A Bahir fight?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah.
Yep. Big beastie. Probably mother of a clutch. We got to pay a fair sum for bringing it back to the capital. They, I believe, are going to put a lot of the slaves and peasants up against it. Mostly they want to see it die, but hopefully they'll free the slaves afterwards, or the crowd be given a chance to suggest such an action.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but those slaves are not going to survive unless they didn't change the state of the Bahir from what we gave it over as.
It is always interesting to watch how the fight goes. I don't much appreciate
Wha-
the slavery. You know my views on it.
would Joffrey have known that that's what they were getting the thing for?
Oh yeah.
Like the whole thing fighting the slaves?
Oh yeah.
We were explained to.
No.
Joffrey might not have
Jesus,
understood that, but
We were told it.
Joffrey just looks really grumpy. I still can't believe we went and got that stupid thing just to have it come back and just hurt people.
None
It
of us
is-
particularly appreciate who's going to be fighting it. Honestly, I'm hoping some of the fighters in the Fighters Guild here have to jump in and subdue it. That would be worth watching. But it will be what it will be.
It is the way of these lands, unfortunately. Each culture is so different.
Eventually, I'm going to get myself into a position to try and change that. But
I
for
wouldn't
now, I just
have
have to accept it.
taken you to get into politics.
You always were the naive one when it came to fighting. You really think the arena champions that get to be champions without getting to play here petty politics.
If you ever become a champion, you'll have to let me know what the politics are like. I might be able to give you a hand with it.
I'm sure an arena champion needs a secretary.
I sort of just give a dirty look.
Point
Yep.
to Kai.
I'll come watch too.
No?
I mean, I have no other plans, and it sounds interesting. Don't think
Oh.
I've seen a here before.
Ugh, you don't want to see the inside of it. Trust me.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Nasty
Damn
beast.
thing.
Let's to breathe electricity. Reminds me of what would it be? Was it one of the worms? Maybe one of the dragons back home. Although a little smaller.
Oh, Kai, can we go look for boots today?
Are you able to afford them?
Well, we can go by the bank and see if I have enough money, and then we can go see if we can find the some magic boots.
Yeah, just kind of looks over at me and says, I'm taking her to see if we can find similar boots to the ones that Gorthon and I wear.
With raised eyebrows, sort of lifting the chin up a bit.
Good to
Aha.
speed, you dimwit.
Oh no, I'm. That's not what I'm. I just noticed that you have been very close. Is all?
I thought that was why you bursted in.
No, I was just very, very drunk.
How close is Kai sitting to Mute at this point?
I would have been sat across from you.
Is that technically next to Joffiel?
Probably because she restored me.
Hey Ray,
Yes.
did you hear what Muse just said?
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking what Kai's thinking?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no.
Probably not. No. Probably not. No.
What is
No.
that thing?
Damn it, and who was me thinking that Joffiel would immediately then tackle Sarab?
No, but she would probably like turn in like in a almost male voice, just look at her and go from this little tiny body. It's none of your business.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit a nerve?
I have
I'm
my
just-
glaive, don't I, Minton?
Yeah, you'd have your gear.
I'm just stating an observation is all. Now, I should go get Gothon back up, try and sober him up a bit, and we can meet you at the arena.
You know, here I was noticing how close you were getting to Gorthon at the party last night. I'm surprised you didn't get involved whenever you ended up last night. You were gone for quite a long time.
It is because I found such an interesting guest that I sort of gesture towards.
Really? That's never stopped you in the past.
Joffiel looks
Right.
confused.
You imply that I do this far more often than I actually do.
It's been 2, 6, 20 in the past 6 months.
I cast Vanish.
I can't see invisibility.
Too late, I'm already gone. I can move like 45 and I'm out.
And she's out. She is out of there. You blink back into existence, or well, become visible again, back inside the inn. The few patrons that awake look mildly surprised, but then they're just like, "Oh, okay, it's nothing."
So I give him a small wave and then head upstairs, and I'll go find Gotham.
The advantages of being in an adventurer-only inn.
Yep.
What is going on? I'm going to take out the room key for the shared room, and I'm going to pass it over to Nur.
Oh, thank you.
You'll likely need that if they leave you out to dry and you need to get back here. That room is booked for the rest of the week. It'll be shared with just the elf and Salab. We have our room, and the final member of our band of misfits now has his own room.
I keep hearing about him. Very confusing.
I like to think of him as like a mascot or like a little pet.
Halfling, likes to stab people with daggers, likes to run off, also likes to sleep quite a lot in Gotham's bag of holding.
Alright.
Now
Yeah,
should
come
we
to
have the
think of it, he's
reference
like a
that I said
cat.
last night.
You'll meet him eventually.
I suppose
Maybe.
I will.
I'm gonna start calling him Kitty. I've always wanted a cat.
I'm
Do you
sure
think
he's
he'd
gonna
mind
love
if I
that.
called him a cat?
I want to point out that he's going to start calling his daggers claws if you end up saying that.
If it puts your mind at ease, now that we're going to be travel companions, you do not need to worry about me and your friend Muse. I am not looking for anything complicated.
Oh, don't worry. The only one I'd be worried about in that situation is you. Muse can be very persuasive when she wants to be. I've watched her use her charm to her own ends. Just your wits about you.
You're assuming you wouldn't want to be convinced.
Dorothy kind of narrows her eyes.
And you thought I was an outsider. May I remind you that she has been living in every single country outside of the Badlands except for home. She's even more of an outsider than I am. Not interested.
I suppose I'll see you later.
I see you at the arena if we don't see you around town during the day.
I'm gonna get some boots and go fast. It's gonna be so cool today. I gotta get my magic. Hi.
Was that in character?
Yes.
Of course it was.
Kai just kind of pats her on the head and says, she can be a little excitable at times.
And she thinks Toby's the mascot.
Anyway, I hope that you don't think that just because I once knew him, I'm in any way friendly with Zayn.
Well, it doesn't look like it.
The offer to kill him together still stands, just beware that he deal with a fiend that is probably a lot stronger than we're expecting.
It is good information to have. And I do appreciate the offer.
We'll see you around. The store should be open by now, and unless anything else happens, we'll meet you at the arena. Come on, Joffiel. You can take your food with you if you really have to.
She kind of like looks at the food, looks back at him, and looks at the food. I don't need it. I'm good. Does he start walking first or her?
Different progress has been made. So what was that?
Is he starting to walk or is he waiting for her to walk?
He walked a little way off and is waiting for her.
She turns around and tries to stuff as much as she can in her face, and then puts all the rest inside her armor, like dumps it like down her boobs, and then starts walking.
I saw that.
Nora approves. You don't waste food.
Oh, she's gonna eat every single bit of it. Like I said, she's 4'8" and looks like a child, but she eats like a freaking anime character and noodles.
Kai knows that she's basically a human Hoover.
Damn straight.
So, Sarab was going to wake up Gorthon?
Yes.
He's going to get him up to do. I can't say it as Dorfield, so I have to say it other way.
I mean, they're alone in a room together, and I'm sure he'd agree because of the implication there.
I think Tobod's still in the cupboard.
Does it count though?
No.
No, because he's out.
Noises.
Muse is quiet when she comes into the room. Gotham still just flat on his face, is he?
He is not on the bed. He is on the floor. He kind of rolled over and fell out of bed and just could not get back up. Kind of has just like one arm on the top of the bed, the rest of him is just on the floor.
The passed out drunk sleeping.
Yes.
I ghost sound whispers into Gothon's ear to try and wake him up.
What do you say?
It's just like dissonant whispers of nothing. Just that whispering noise.
Does it wake Gorthon up?
If it's just whispers and I'm passed out from all that drink, probably not. You're gonna need more than whispers to wake him up.
Gothon. It's the morning. You don't need to sleep.
5 more minutes.
The others are going shopping for some boots.
Boots, I have boots, I don't need boots.
I know, but we have a bounty to collect.
How much is it for?
I cannot remember.
Oh, I don't either. 5 more minutes. Wait, no, I'm getting up. I know what you're like with money. I won't ever see a penny of it. Sorry, a copper of it. No, I will just crawl towards the door.
So as Kai and Joffil are walking out of, and I've forgotten the name of the tavern again.
Dancing Shin.
Thank you. As they're walking out, Kai just offers Joffil his arm/hand.
Aww.
Oh god, I don't know if y'all heard that. Her hands off on her armor as best she.
Right?
Is your background noises what's going on in Joy's head right now?
Whatever you were saying there broke up.
She wiped.
And again.
Why?
That's all she does. She just
Why? No. Is it still doing it?
Yeah.
I think I heard she wipes her hands off as best she can.
Yes, that is what I said.
Yeah, I think that's what she was trying to say.
Yes, and then puts her arm in his.
In his.
In his. That's all it said. In his. That's where the statement stopped.
I'm assuming I know where the best place is to get boots of speed.
Yeah, there's a magic item shop just down.
Is there a way to check our bank accounts anywhere close to that?
Other than going to the bank.
Because I mean, I know how much Joffiel has in her bank, but she's gonna need to get a note out for the rest of the money.
Other than going to the bank, there's unfortunately no way out. Oh, you went to the Arcadian League, didn't you? I was going to say, in the Arcadian League, they have magical cards, which, whenever you tap them, it actually teleports the money between the two different bank vaults.
Ooh.
Uh,
So we just need to go to the bank.
So the Arcadians have been trying to push this magic, but not many other places have started to adopt it. Says it's too risky.
I know that Joffiel in her bank account has 79.50, has 200 in platinum, so 99.50, which means to actually get the boots, Kai's going to need to subsidize her 2,050 gold.
But is the money there yet after it's been minted?
We've paid with IOUs before,
Are you trying
but
to
that
get
would
one of
also
those?
obliterate all of Joy's money.
How much are boots of speed?
12k.
Oh shit, those are expensive.
Yep,
So
because they're
worth it,
really
yeah.
fucking good.
Joyful doesn't care if she wants her boots.
Boots of speed give you +1 to your reflex, +1 to your AC, +1 to your attack rolls, and +30 movement speed.
And also give you an extra attacker, but...
Yep.
Oh no, it's that boots of haste.
That's
no,
boots of speed.
Oh yeah, it treats you as though you're under the haste spell, done it?
Yep. So Kai would still have to subsidize Joy 2,050 gold. And Joy would be broke.
How badly does Joy want these boots?
I mean, you could always try and haggle.
Joy really wants the boots.
The
Actually,
last time Joy haggled.
fuck, we probably need Sarab for this, as we're going to have to haggle, because Kai's not going to want to subsidize half of his gold. Fuck it. Can I break on something and say that actually we're going to need... tell Sarab we're actually going to need her.
I mean,
use her charms on the shopkeeper.
you guys were pretty much just leaving the door. You might realize just as you're leaving the door, because that's where you are at the moment.
Because I'm assuming we were probably discussing the money and how to pay for it. Yeah, and go with
Yep.
I mean,
Oh shit, we're going to need Sarab for this.
Why?
Because we're going to need to get the price down from what it is to make sure you can afford it without completely bankrupting yourself. You have a little under 10,000 gold. It normally costs 12,000. You're going to need at least a little bit of spending money for when we get to the league.
I can do stuff around town.
Let's see if Sarab can negotiate the price down a bit first.
I'm sure I read somewhere that you can do like menial 1 gold per day.
just running around getting kittens out of trees, cleaning graffiti off the walls.
2,000 days later, I got enough.
That's really what level 1 should be.
As I
What,
was saying.
cleaning graffitis?
Yeah.
As I was saying, so we're going to need Sarab's charms so that then all that extra money you earn around town can be for, well, whatever use you wanted to use it for.
Okay.
So we're going to wait for Sarab to come out. Now,
Where's Noor at this point?
Kai.
Probably still in the garden acquiring some breakfast herself.
They're eating the remains of the leftover plate.
If there is any.
It was a big plate.
There's only so much Joy can fit in her armor.
Then yeah, probably eating those.
Just roll a straight check for myself.
Fair. And I'm trying to.
Wow.
What are Gorthon and Sarab doing?
I'll be waiting for Gorthon to get ready, as I'm just sort of sat on the end of my bed.
While this is going on, Kai is also going to tell Joffiel that he's gone and the two of them are room.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't want to share a room with those that are going to come barging in right at the first crack of dawn again.
I mean, that is true. Okay. That's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is Gorthon still just like crawling around on the floor then, or has he started to sober up?
For the amount that we drunk, it couldn't have been any more than an hour during the point, so I wouldn't really say he'd be sober.
Oh yeah, we get a drunk Gorthon and a tipsy Sob.
Oh no, I was plastered, but you just helped me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Joffiel helped Sarab, did she?
Sarab is slightly hungover, and Gorthon's just still pretty drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help him to his feet. If the others are still around, maybe we can sober you up in the same way they did to me.
That sounds good. Lead the way. Stairs? Maybe an issue right now, as I take a step forward and nearly fall over.
I'm sure if he just tips a glass of water on himself, he'll be fine.
Gorthon versus Stairs, how do?
What's that reflex, is it?
You know what?
Yeah,
I'll cast Cat's Grace on him just before he goes down the stairs.
I mean, he manages to make it down the stairs as well. He doesn't completely stack it.
I was really hoping to nap on that.
You can elect to fail a roll if you want.
Yes, I totally fail it. Straight down the stairs.
I just flinch.
You said you were holding on to me, right? Question is, do I pull you down the stairs with me?
Does Sarab let go?
Yes.
God damn it.
Am I
And here was me hoping that Gorthon was going to end up on his back with Sarab on top of him.
Does Gorthon try and grab on?
Yeah, I was going to say, what do I roll to try and grab a hold?
CMP. Roll a grapple.
What do I roll, sorry?
CMB. It's on attacks. And what's I'm
Ridiculous.
Sarab's going down with him.
we would be walking
sure
probably
that's
back inside.
I'm pretty sure that Sarab's CMD is higher than that.
Nope, it's 24 currently because I haven't buffed myself.
Right.
Joyfield steps back in and it's like, okay, yeah, I agree. And, she could be entertaining. And then I guess, would they see them just falling terribly?
You guys were just outside the front. It's an open entrance, and you just see them, you hear smash, and you just see them both at the bottom of the stairs.
Now the question is, what position are they in when they land? Is Gorthon on his back with Sarab on top of him?
I'm going to go with there's like a 5% chance of that happening. No. If I'd said a 10% chance, then yes. I rolled a 9 on a D percentile, but no. They just landed in basically a pile.
Shame, I was going to tell them to get a room.
That's not how you go downstairs. Next time, you get the mattress, and you get on that, and you fly down. I don't think this is the right time, is it?
While she's talking, I'm just crawling, dragging myself in my arms. Joy. Restoration. Give me something.
Okay,
Just slap her leg with my hand and just collapsed on the floor again.
y'all are abusing this. I'm supposed to be using this to help you if you're dying or something, not because you're idiots and went out and had ale.
Dying.
I mean, would Joffiel have prepared more than one cast of restoration?
Pallies are spontaneous,
No, they're not.
aren't they?
Nope.
Nope.
Life is a lie. If you wanted to have a second one prepared, you can.
Fine, I'll do it. She kind of.
Would Joffiel's mercies for her lay on hands do it?
I was just looking at that.
You know what? Yeah, a mercy to lay on hands will get rid of like a hangover.
Mercy. Give me mercy.
Oh my word!
Okay, takes up glaive.
Heroes never.
No, Kai. No, Kai. Down, boy. Down.
That was not in character.
Oh.
But I had give me mercy. I was like, okay.
Joyfield just kind of just rolls her eyes like, this is what I've become. I'm just a freaking person who sits there for this group and restores them after they get drunk.
I had, by the way, stepped up back to my feet, dusted myself off while he was like, mercy, mercy. I'm going to walk to the door, past Joy, and just say, your words, not mine. And just walk out the door.
Wait a minute, Solab.
Joyfield is leaning down and patting him on the head while she does healing hands on him. That's all I am. That's all I am. I'm just a little puppet for all of you guys, and I'm just going to keep restoring you while you get all drunk.
While she's rambling, I'm just gonna like stand up, walk past her, and just at least you know what you are to us, and just run after Muse. I apologize for pulling her down the stairs.
Did Muse stop?
I did. I stopped, turned, yes.
We realized right as we're about to head off to the store that we're going to need your charming talents so that Paladin doesn't bankrupt herself.
I want to cast Ghost Sound right now. And I want to mimic, just as like a quote recording, Kai saying, we need your help right now.
You hear the echo, we need your help right now.
In exactly how Kai just said it.
Help me, Obi Muse. Can help me now.
I was about to say, help me, Obi-Wan. You're only hope.
Okay, now that I have now got that memorized, and that I can use that at any point I want. What do you need exactly?
Well, simply put, I don't want the Paladin bankrupting herself over her boots if I can afford it, if we can avoid it, so ideally the price to be negotiated down from 12,000 to, say, 9,000 or less.
Jeez.
So for
Sounds
someone of your persuasion,
Like quarter
that
the
shouldn't
price.
be difficult.
I'm a
And-
miracle worker, sure, but you're running a tough bargain with that. I can try, I suppose. What's in it for me?
Well, I'll have to get back to you on that front. And Kai's just going to take Joffel's hand and start walking towards the magic store.
Wait. Give me 2 minutes before we go. I'm gonna run, grab Toby, stuff him in the bag, and come back. Just in case we need
we're
him.
still walking.
Don't we need to go
I'll
to
see
the
how it
bank?
is.
I'll say the lay on hands helped, but you still have a bit of a hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Minton, where's the... how far away is the bank?
Bank's about 20-minute walk as well, I believe, into the central administration area.
Okay, then mild direct you on. So we're going to need to go to the bank and then we're heading to the store. Are you coming with us or will you meet us there?
Suppose I'll try and get an IOU myself. I could use with something over there.
As I say, Kai is taking Joffel's hand and walking off.
I cast not whisper message. I can probably see line of sight, like through the lobby and into the garden.
Yeah.
Casino.
Mm.
We're heading to the bank and the shops. If you want to join us, or we can meet you later.
I believe we're meeting at the arena later.
Oh,
Then I shall
possibly
see.
go wrong.
Then I shall see you then. Take care of yourself.
See you later.
Once Gorthon's arrived, I'll catch up with them towards the bank.
Fair. As you head out, you can see the sun's gotten higher in the sky at this point. Crowds have started to form out on the streets. You can hear the bustle of people moving around. You can see the festival for today has started to liven up already. There already seems to be some street performers, some merchants on street corners haggling their wares. You hear someone who's selling snake oil.
I point it out to Joey and say, "This stuff really works, you know."
Don't believe her for a second.
What would you know about the snakes here in this area? He's just messing with you. They say it works as love potions.
Your snake oil cures any wounds, heals any aches, solves
Muse.
any problems.
Muse, I've been living in this land for 3 years. I've heard the phrase, and Kai says it in flawless Kalish. snake oil salesman.
I tried, okay?
I mean, I
It's a
don't
scam
think
to
that would
take your
work
money
either.
and doesn't work. Well, your magic is much more effective than anything he can come up with.
Have you ever tried cow's urine? That stuff works wonders.
You know, sometimes you'll feel I worry about you.
No, seriously. You can put that stuff in your hair and it'll make it nice and shiny. You can rub it on stings and it makes the sting go away. You know, one time my friend said that he wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire. Well, if you had used some cow's urine, you could put your fire out yourself.
You know, normally for that you stop, drop, and roll, but I guess that would be effective as well.
Sir Abmuser is walking 15 feet further from Joy.
I mean, is that on Kai's side or on Joffiel's side?
That's behind you both towards Gorthon.
Anyway, so get to the bank. I'm assuming you don't have any problem getting the IOU out.
Yeah, they say there's no problem getting the IOU out. They have a small amount of gold. They've got about 10,000 gold minted by now.
How much, sorry?
10,000 gold minted.
Total or...
To throw dinner in the oven. 1 second.
Yeah. So that you can get up to 10,000 out in minted coins. After that, it'd be IOUs.
But that means-
Between you.
I mean, the IOU is easiest for Joy.
I guess I shall continue to wait.
If she wins to bankrupt herself, then gonna say probably gets out 7,500 from her bank account.
Perfect. And they do say they'll have all of the gold minted by the end of today, though.
Fair. I'm just noting that she's got 7,500 on her. I want to leave her at least a little bit in the bank.
Gorthon, at what point are you wanting to buy my belt off me?
At least buy her dinner.
Phrasing.
Right, that was actually in character. Kai just looks over his shoulder and says, "I'll just buy her dinner first."
I mean, he's bought me enough ale to make up for it.
How much for? And I thought we were waiting until you got new belt.
True, but I could get my new belt tonight. We can wait for tonight if you want.
How much is it? Because I did want a amulet as well.
Muse is waiting for tonight to take her belt off. I see how it is.
I believe.
I mean, if that's all I've got to do to pay for it.
Goddamn. I believe we mutually agreed on 2,900 for it.
Did we though?
I have it written down as that.
Sure, if that's what we agreed. I have no idea. What belt am I buying again? It was something useful to me.
Belt of incredible dexterity +2.
Hang on, let me do a quick calculation.
Don't you already have a magic belt?
Me?
Yeah.
No belts.
Fair enough.
No belt.
Both Kai and Joffrey will have a belt.
22. Yeah, I can buy that off you now, tonight, whenever.
We can do it tonight. It'll be more convenient that way.
Okay. Tonight when we all have money.
Thank the gods I got you. Well, yeah. Thank the gods I got a couple of new rooms. I guess no, Joffrey and I will leave you in peace. He grins. And turns away.
You already got your own room for your own reasons, so don't try and pass it off with it being us.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Mm-hmm.
I reach and grab Joe Field's belt and take a look to see how abruptly, if it has any damage marks of being like ripped off.
Does it?
I rolled a 2.
You miss.
And no, it doesn't.
Well, looks like someone's had a bit of fun. As I pat Joy on the back and push her a bit forward away from me.
You are so lucky that Ray isn't here right now.
It's fine, she can try and roll and probably still dodge that too. Yep, told you.
Fucking hell, I need to stop rolling for Ray.
I'm here.
Oh.
Did you hear what Umbridge has said?
No.
I grabbed Joy by the belt and inspected it and went, well, looks like someone's had some fun recently anyway, as I patted Joy on the shoulder and pushed her away from me.
Ugh.
What does Joffrey do in response?
She just kind of stares at her for a second. What?
I give a wink back and then just slightly pat you on the head.
You are so fortunate that we're not in the arena or in the Badlands right now.
I didn't think they could afford an arena.
I mean, in fairness, we generally just had our balls out in public, but you know what I mean.
I misheard that.
What did you hear me say?
I didn't hear the R in brawls, so it sounded like you just said we tend to have our balls out in public.
No, brawls.
I heard balls, not balls, in fairness.
But to state your sadistic curiosity, nothing of that kind happened, despite the fact that's the only thing they're obsessed with. Don't think I haven't seen some of the partners you've dragged in.
They have information that I want, usually.
And Gorthon doesn't? Wow. That's low coming from her, Gorthon. Might want to leave her before you stick your dick in crazy.
Wait, what?
Sighs. Shakes my head. Just doesn't reply.
Go on.
Wait a minute. So all this time you were talking about her taking people in, I thought she was going in to talk to them and have coffee or something, and you'd say, that's what she's doing?
Oh no, it was a very, very nice conversation. I learned all sorts of stuff that I needed to know.
Very, very nice conversation that ends with both of them having no clothes on, and the other one having no memory of it.
Muse, you can make them forget that?
It's called a lot of alcohol.
It's called
Oh.
magic and you know it.
I whisper, you should try it sometime.
It's
Try
called,
what sometime?
It's called magic and you know it. I can't cast it, but I know the spell you're talking of.
Okay, wait. So, you're not having coffee with the people who you dragged to your room.
I think we're going to need to head back to the Dancing Gin and have a sit-down talk with Joffiel, aren't we?
Does she need to talk? Do you
What's the
need to
talk?
I would not be surprised.
Kai, do you need to talk as well? I haven't seen you manage to take anyone home yet.
What's the talk?
Choice. It was by choice. I know the process. You don't need to have that conversation with me. Thank you very much. I grew up in the Badlands. You think I haven't seen that a million times, or the wars between the different tribes?
With the little poke that I've done, it is just the biggest shit-eating grin ever.
If you're talking about the big thing,
Fucking hell.
I'm like a ninja.
Sarab is untouchable.
if you're talking about, the Slytherin snake of the dance, I already know about that. My mom told me when she tried to cook me up with this guy.
Let's go get your boots and then we'll have that conversation. I think we're in the process of breaking me. This is great.
She really has not had the conversation about the ravens and the wasps.
Is that what you call it out here? Oh, you
No,
fucks. Strange.
No,
I mean-
it's just what I like to call it around the innocent.
Why would you call it that? I mean, I know what it is. We had animals. Although, why would you want to do it from behind? I don't think that would be comfortable.
Let's get your boots, get back to the Dancing Gin, and have that conversation in a more relaxed and private setting. Especially since Salab can explain what some of the men she's writing like with that particular pose.
What? Wait, that is the one you're supposed to do?
There are different ones, Jorfiel, for different people.
How do I know which one's the right one?
And that's what the conversation is for.
I laugh and I keep walking.
Anyway, so, well, I have noticed the time, but I don't know whether you need to stay up or not, whether you need to go to bed or not, Minton, because I'm enjoying this.
I have to be up tomorrow relatively early because I need to run around and do many things, including organising a trip to Ireland, getting my passport stuff done. I was going to say, if you guys were just going to go shopping and then
I mean,
to the arena, I was going to say we could do the shopping part and then you guys going to the arena in the evening is where we'd call it.
well, we're going to have a conversation in character, but I guess that doesn't really need you to be here.
We can have it in the evening. Like in the next
I mean, if you guys want to just call it here before this conversation happens.
Well, we're still going to need to haggle with the shopkeeper, which will need you here, but the conversation in the evening, I guess we can just TLDR fill you in on the way I did with Ray and Ike's conversation.
Yeah, that works.
Because I'm enjoying this conversation, and I don't know Oh, shit, Umbra's got work in the morning, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it next
We can
time.
do
But
that next time, yeah.
yeah, we'll do that next time with everybody here because
I'm so used
I
to
need
Umbra
popcorn
being
and
on
alcohol
holiday.
for that.
I'm so used to Umbra being on holiday.
Because I basically always am. Except now.
Ah, you poor baby had to grow up and get a job.
Not doing PhD research. Doing research is the next nearest thing to not having a job. But I was going to say, do we want to do the
haggling, please?
Yeah,
The
sure.
haggling.
Get the haggling sorted.
Takes you guys about 10 minutes, but you arrive at a shop called the Helping Hand it has a nice little mage hand sign on the like hanging sign of the shop. Under those of you that can read arcane writing, sees it has mage hand written underneath the sign.
Joyfield kind of looks at, is that the shop?
Ooh, I
Darts
read that
into
now.
it.
You know, I read a book once that had a story in it where there was an apparent ghost story haunting a village that collapsed in large towers, and it turned out the culprit was just a young little sorcerer boy that happened to know Mage Hand.
I know
All he did was
exactly
use
what
a-
you're referencing.
All he did was use a crowbar to take down the tower. It was actually quite
And
anticlimactic.
the little boy ended up being executed by a half-orc fighter.
I don't remember that part of the story. Anyway,
Joyfield's into the shop already and kind of like bursts through the door, and it's like, this
I
is
will
so.
cast Detect Desires, by the way, before coming into the shop.
Fair. You head into the shop, and nobody seems to be around.
Mage loot.
Joyfield kind of doesn't know, like she's like, hello?
I was gonna say, you see, there's a counter, there's a bell on it, there's a chalkboard and some chalk, but nobody seems to be around until you say hello, and then the bell rings for a bit, and the chalkboard and the chalk rises up.
Good luck haggling. Good luck haggling with that.
Joyfield gets her hammer out and is kind of spooked.
You see the chalk starts to write on the chalkboard. Sorry. Out in Arcadian League, buying new supplies. Please haggle with Mage Hand instead.
Yes!
Okay, just
Mr. Rapp has followed in at this point.
Yeah, probably.
so we just pick what? Okay. Joyfield kind of eases a little bit and starts looking around for boots.
Are the boots of speed, Minton?
There seems to be like a large section of boots, and you can see the chalk. Whenever you inspect the boots, the chalk just writes on the chalkboard, "Boots." Just boots ?
Oh, yeah, I want boots of speed, and preferably some that have a really pretty design in them.
You see a pair of boots just kind of float up there. They seem pretty normal boots, just brown leather. They've got a bit of like engraving on them. You know how you can like carve engravings into leather? It's like that. And they plop down on the counter, and then 12,000 is written on the chalkboard.
Oh, that'll work.
I tap Joffrey on the shoulder and say, "Let's Solab take it from here."
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let my friend talk to you. Yeah.
I cast Mage Hand and
Talk to the hand.
I cast Mage Hand and sort of have the hand offered out towards the chalk.
Are you trying to shake its hand or write with the...
I want the chalk.
It's not giving you the chalk. The chalk seems to be held pretty firmly by something.
Oh, I'm not like grabbing it. I'm
Oh.
like sort of there. The hand is like offering, like, may I?
It doesn't seem to put the chalk into the hand.
Does anyone have any chalk?
I was literally just looking for that. I don't think I do though.
Is there any more chalk around the chalkboard?
No, it just seems to be one stick of chalk.
You can write in the dust.
At least from where you can see, there was just one stick of chalk on one thing. I mean, if that chalk breaks, you got to question how it's going to keep on writing, but
Oh, Joyfield goes and looks behind the counter.
As you start to step behind the counter, you feel a slap around the face. And you see the chalk drop to the ground.
Quick, now's the time to pick it up.
No, I'm not going to piss it off.
Oh, I was just trying to look for more chalk.
I ask out loud then. May I haggle with some other chalk?
The chalk just kind of floats there, like it just puts a question mark in the corner.
I'd like to write to reply to you.
It just kind of scribbles words down in another corner.
I get rid of Mage Hand. You are no fun, you know that?
The chalk just floats.
12,000 GP is a little too expensive, so you want to haggle? Shall we say we run you down to starting at 8,000?
The chalk just kind of floats there for like a solid like 15 seconds, and then it just adds another 0 on the end.
Come on now, you're in the Kalish territory. You should know how haggling works.
It just kind of gets rid of the last 0, but it's still on 12,000.
Fine then, maybe I went a little too steep, but I was hoping you'd humor me. How about I move up to 9,000 to be a bit more reasonable?
Can you roll diplomacy?
I can.
The hand just kind of looks, and you see the first numbers are rubbed out and replaced with 11,500, and then that's underlined.
You really are on a hard bargain. Well, what about, I'd like you to humor me a little more if I say it at 9,500 and 50.
You can see the chalk just kind of taps on the chalkboard for a bit, rubs out the number and writes 10,099.9.9.
Now that is something that I like. We can still do better though. Call it 9,999. 0.99 if you really want.
Isn't that what it just offered you?
No, it offered 10,999. Sarab was asking for 9,999.
1,000
Yeah,
less
yeah.
than what it asked.
Because it offered 1 copper less than 11,000.
Yeah, and Sarab is asking for
Okay, for
1,000 less than that.
10,000.
Yeah.
it keeps that number and then writes 10% off next purchase.
Ooh, now you're knowing how to haggle.
Kai's gonna speak up this way. If we buy something else first, can we get the same discount on the boots?
You just see it on it. No, just no.
I actually need to purchase something, so that deal works for me.
Damn it, I was going to get it myself.
I mean, would you be interested in maybe a dress or something? You know, you could always enchant it.
Roll diplomacy?
Oh shit, Joffiel has an amazing diplomacy.
That didn't work at all.
Ah. The hand just kind of hovers for the trunk just kind of hovers. It seems almost confused as to why it would need a dress.
It's really, really pretty, and I really liked it. But if you would like it, I can give it to you, and maybe then get a better deal on the boots.
What is it? Kai just kind of puts a hand on Joffrey's shoulder, looks at Sir Ravengard and says, "How much were you planning to spend in store today, you two?"
Which is a good point now that you mention it. I mean, I look over. At some point tonight in the evening, I would like to purchase a handy haversack and a belt of incredible dexterity +4. So with this extra business on your end in the evening, shall we be able to haggle to, what was it said?
It said 1 copper under 11,000.
It said 11k and 10% off. Our next purchase.
$10.5k, since we are bringing extra business in the evening.
And a dress.
And a dress.
I mean, that dress was a gift.
I know,
Rip.
but I don't want you to have to spend any money on me. You already spent enough.
And 10% on the next purchase as well, but we are bringing a lot of currency into your establishment.
That dress was me spending money on you.
Okay. What about old coins? I still have some of those.
They're in your bank.
I kept some on me, I thought. Hold on.
Nope.
Nope, you put all of it in the bank.
Dang.
That's-
Let's see what else. She's like literally rummaging through her bag trying to find anything to give to this thing.
What's the chalk say in response to the take the dress out of the deal? What does the chalk say?
10.5, 10% off the next purchase, and we are bringing a lot of income in the evening.
It underlines the 11 or the 11,000 again and circles the 10%.
10% off all purchases in the next 24 hours.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
With 11,000 payment.
It taps the board a bit and then writes 5% and circles that twice.
5% off all.
It ticks.
Is that okay with you guys?
So Joy can do 9,000. Kai has money in the bank, which honestly I probably have taken out by now. So yeah, Kai can easily do the other 2k.
I bring the mage hand up again and offer to shake its hand. Mage hand to mage hand.
It shakes the hand and then lifts up a set of scales from behind the counter.
Okay. Way I'm going to do this, if Ray doesn't mind, 7,000 gold and her 200 platinum. If that's okay with you, Ray?
Yeah, it's totally fine. She's kind of upset that he's spending money on her again. So anything she has is
And
not.
I'm going to add 100 of my platinum, 1,000 of my gold.
Oh,
So
That-
total of 300 platinum and 8,000 gold.
Okay. So that does make 11,000. It adds the correct weights, weighing the gold and the platinum. It sees that it's the correct amount. Hands you the boots and hands you a single copper piece.
I'm
Okay.
so happy.
And Ray, I will set up the buffs for your boots of speed.
thank you.
Kai, before, could I have my platinum that you're holding onto at the moment?
No, fuck you, it's mine now.
Your
that's
platinum is mine.
No, Kai just takes her coin pouch out and just throws it over her shoulder at her.
I'll catch it. How much for the handy haversack?
How much is a handy haversack?
2,000.
Hang on a sec. Let me just quickly look something up.
1,900 it writes. Oh well, it writes 2,000, crosses it out, writes 5%, and then 1,900.
I get 190 platinum.
I ask the hand if it would be willing to bag of holding one for the handy haversack.
Okay, I shall wait before paying.
What if it would?
I
Take-
give it a bag of holding one, and it gives us a straight swap bag for bag.
Is that worth it?
It bag one's normally 2,500.
Yeah.
It puts a cross on the board.
Because normally it's what, half price to sell stuff.
I know, but I was trying to swap it straight and hope it would.
It would be 1,900 with the 5% discount.
Yep, don't worry, my calculator is open.
And Ray, I have a boots of speed buff you can turn off or on as you wish.
I was going to try swap bag for bag and get Muse to pay me the difference. So it works out cheaper for her and me.
Move the bag and 65 equals the amount that it wants.
It draws a little bag and then puts a cross through it.
No bag at all.
It was not the bag.
Actually, I do need to get rid of mine, I've just realised. I put my own bag of holding in, taking everything out, so it's empty. I do not need this anymore, so 140 platinum and this bag. It's not 1,000 GP.
Is it a bag of holding one?
Bag of holding minor.
Fuck does that do? Is that even worse than a bag of holding?
Bag of holding mine is worth 1,000, I think. And carry up to £50.
It draws a smaller bag and puts two crosses through it.
Apparently no trading.
Can I sell it just as is anyway and get cash for it?
It puts another cross through.
You do not take selling. Ah, fine. 1990 platinum.
It draws a bag, puts a 1 through it, crosses it out. Draws a bag, puts a 2 in it, doesn't do anything. Draws a bag with a 3 and a 4 and ticks it.
While they're doing this, Joyfield kind of looks up at Kai and gives him a quick kiss on the cheek and just mouths, "Thank you."
It seems as though the hand only wants to buy expensive things.
Yeah. Alright, I've given it 190. I'm swapping everything into the handy haystack.
Fair. It
I wonder how much
weighs
it would be
190.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say it weighs out the 190 platinum on the scales and then hands you the handy haversack.
I put all my clothes and all my shit back into it.
That's disgusting.
No bats either.
Anyone else need to buy anything?
Didn't you want to?
Yeah, I was letting see if anyone else wanted to.
Fucking hell, a belt of physical might plus 4 is expensive.
Oh yeah.
I'll ask then if they've got any amulet of natural armor 3s.
The chalk kind of taps against the chalkboard, and then it kind of goes along this shelf. You can see like the chalk tapping along the shelves, and it's like it doesn't seem to grab anything from there, but it goes behind the desk and pulls something out, and you can see it looks like an amulet.
An amulet. Is it the one I'm after? I don't really know what I'm looking for.
The hand's offering it to you. It wasn't on the shelves, but it seems like the hand is vaguely knows what it's doing. I mean, you wanted a handy haversack, it gave you a handy haversack.
Please. So, how much for the amulet natural armor?
How much is it normally?
18,000. So it should be 17,100.
Yes.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to regret this and it's not what I want, but I'll hand over the money.
It weighs it out, and presuming it's the right weight, it hands you the amulet.
Cool. That's all I need for now.
What I was saying earlier, Minton, was I wonder how much it will buy Kai's flail for. Like, would it even be interesting just a straight +2 flail?
It doesn't look like there are many magic items on sale here.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing where I'd be tempted to sell it because it's only a +2 flail if it would buy it, but it's only worth 8,000.
It doesn't look like it's that interested.
Fair enough.
So does anyone else want to buy anything?
I got no money left to buy anything. I'll be coming back tonight though.
Hello, sorry.
It's fine, Ray.
So-
You missed some haggling. Also, Gotham might have bought an amulet that isn't the one he's looking for. We don't
Oh
know.
no!
I mean, is it the one he was looking for?
I mean, it's in Warner or Spellcraft.
I do, but I'm not there.
If Gothon wishes me to, then I can.
That +2 identify magic items. Oh. It looks like an amulet of natural armor. The spells look like an amulet of natural armor. Something seems a bit strange about it, though.
Oh.
Has he been scammed?
No. It doesn't seem like malicious bad. It just seems slightly different.
It's a +4, really.
But no, you reckon it'll function as a +3 amulet just fine.
Okay. I'm sure this will crop up on me eventually somewhere down the.
I can take a look at it if you want.
Wait, what's odd about it?
It just the magic aura seems a bit strange.
Sarab.
Hmm. If Gotham would like me to investigate, I can.
Not. Is this a good idea to do it while we're in the shop? Sure, why not do it?
I asked the hand, do you mind if I investigate the wares?
The hand just kind of puts a question mark on the board.
I'll take that as it's not going to stop me. I'll spellcraft and machine. Wait a second. Let me check my spells real quick. Yes, okay. I'm going to cast Identify.
Looks like a +3 amulet of natural armor.
Which, just to double check, that's a 40 on spellcraft.
Looks like a +3 amulet of natural armor.
No, what's so odd about it with a 40?
You know that this looks like a magnificently crafted amulet of natural armor +3. It looks like a very old amulet of natural armor +3. But it looks like an amulet of natural armor +3.
It looks spectacular.
One of the best crafted amulets of natural armor +3 you've ever seen.
And I convey this.
Gotham is drawing a blank. Either way, he's paid, he has it, he's now happy. As long as it works.
I need to actually mark down I've used that spell slot.
Can Joyfield be putting their boots on and then try them out?
Yeah.
Oh god, I hope she doesn't break anything in the shop.
Oh shit.
Well, she looks over at Kai and says, "How do you activate these things?"
Tap your heels together.
And think of home.
Fuck's sake.
So, like, I tap my boots together and then I just walk.
You say a command word normally, but
I think on Boots of Speedies you actually tap the boots together.
Actually, yes, it is on boots. Oh well. But yes, the boots are you click your heels and then you go fast.
Minton,
Have to go fast.
Yep.
there appears to be any decks of cards in here.
Hmm?
Are there any decks of cards in the store?
There seem like a couple.
No.
They just seem like, decks of cards.
What's the price on them?
I think it's like 50 GP.
Hammer decks?
Are you asking the hand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just write Harrow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Harrow. Like Harrow decks.
No,
said
the
how
board is
many?
just the board is really racist. It's just fun.
Harrow, fuck's sake. Get out. Yeah.
Shit.
Hammer decks, they have been since they're priced at 50 GP.
Are they 50 GP?
I thought you said the decks are 50 GP.
I think that's how much a Harrow deck is.
Hammer decks that they have.
They've got like a decent stack of Harrow decks.
God damn it. Any of them seem...
Oh wait, I lied. It's 100 GP. My apologies.
Any of them seem innately magical? 2020 on the Knowledge Arcana and Spellcraft.
That vision is perfect.
I mean, not really. They seem like very nice decks of Harrow cards. I mean, one could say that the deck probably doesn't contain many things apart from cards.
I mean, there are Harrow decks in many things.
I mean, there probably are many things in there, but they are just cards.
I'm just gonna buy some Harrow cards. Just a single deck.
Just gonna buy a single deck of Harrow cards.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. It asks for 95 GP.
Sure. 95, you say?
I think that's 5% of 100.
Yeah.
I should hope doing A-level further maths that
It's
5% of 100 is 5.
Never mind. Now we'll do maths. That would be...
Does anyone else want to buy anything?
calm.
Daphio has stepped outside. I don't know if I should do a roll for this or just she's gonna tap them and take off and has no control.
Oh god.
Well, you just kind of put your feet ahead too much,
Hey.
Yep.
and you just flat on your face. Or
No, she's running out of control.
oh god. Fair, yeah. You kind of just start off with what you think would be a slow jog, and the next thing you know, you're like 100 feet away.
Kai, your girlfriend is just on a runner.
Minton, have I finished paying?
Yes, it weighs the gold, and hands you the Harrow deck.
I'm just gonna walk outside while shuffling the deck.
She is screaming and down the road.
Before you go outside, the hand gives you a card, and you can see there's writing on the card in common.
What does it say?
Baklovich Magic Traders partnered with Magnafel's Magic Miscellanea.
I thank the hand and step outside looking for Joffiel.
You think you can see her off in the distance.
Now, the thing is, I'm faster than her even with the boots of speed. I'm going to boots of speed, charge and tackle her.
I was going to say, just before you do that, I place a hand on your shoulder and go, "Good luck. I shall meet you at the arena. Bye."
That's a 36 CMB to tackle. And remember, we've got to go back to the tavern first.
I mean, I'm fairly certain that tackles her.
Yeah. That would tackle me, friend.
But it wouldn't trip the Bahia.
Actually, that wouldn't tackle me while I was raging. Fun fact.
But you how do you tackle Joffiel? Just like a flying tackle, or?
Pretty much.
Oh, thank God. Never thought I'd want to actually be tackled. Okay, I'm gonna have to get used to these.
Tap the boots together again.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. She does.
Effect ends.
Oh, thank God. Oh, is he like on top of her?
Probably. Tackled her from behind.
Hi.
But would have probably rolled off and started to stand up and has now offered her a hand.
And takes his hand. These
Her feet.
these will be fun.
Huh? Anyway. Is there anything else to do?
Not that I can think of, unless anyone else. Well, I mean, we've already overrun by an hour, so if there is anything to do.
I'm thinking Umbra is going to die.
I mean, it's not like you slept last night.
Yeah, I didn't sleep last night either, so...
I'll say, do we want to call it here then?
Probably be best for the workers.
Yeah.
What's a job?
I mean, I have one too, but it's only 6. What is it right now?
My lectures begin in October.
6:54, so it's 7:00.
Minton.
Right. Take care.
Did I just hear Jamie whisper, "Oh God"?
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna call it.
Night, Jumpra.
Good night,
once-
Umbra.
Night, drunk, bro.
Thanks you all. Thanks for playing. As always, if you have any feedback,
I'm
feel
just
free
gone.
to tell me. A number is dead. I will probably be dead soon as well because I have not had my. Actually, no, I have had my siesta today.
Mint, does anything happen when I was shuffling and just drawing the cards to just play with the deck?
I mean, you drew some cards. I can tell you exactly what cards you drew if you wanted, but
Go for it. Did anything happen?
no, nothing happened.
Fair enough. You've got some power cards to mess with.
You're a funny man thinking I'd give you a deck of many things.
I tried.
That you
Fucking
did.
should rename them Deck of Campaign Breaking.
Okay, mouth on fire, be right back.
Draw a card. Oh look, I now have a Dread Wraith trying to kill me. Draw a card. Oh look, I'm now banished to the center of the earth.
Let's take a look at the stats of the Dread Wraith
It
of
sounds
Pathfinder.
like a fair punishment for someone trying to get a deck of
I could
mythic.
take a Dread Wraith.
I mean, you could always play Dead Man's Gambit.
I could take a Dread Wraith until it started draining my constitution.
Yeah, I mean, you could take a Dread Wraith as long as the sun was up.
Reminder, all my weapons have Ghost Touch.
Reminder, the Wraith can't touch you while the sun's up. But when the sun goes down, friend, then you better be ready.
Wait, what do you mean it can't touch you when the sun's up?
Dread Wraiths can't do jack shit when
Oh,
the sun's
sunlight
up.
powerlessness.
Yeah.
Oh, I could still take it, friend.
I'm fairly certain all Wraiths have that.
I could still take it, friend.
They're the big, scary, boopy things that go boop in the night. And then the Wraith goes, cool, I can't touch you into the night. I'm just gonna float above your reach. The Wraiths are smart. The Wraith will just go, well, so you can touch me, but I can't touch you, so I'm just gonna wait.
Also remember, Paladin.
Kai has fly.
Yeah. I'm so glad I didn't have to cheat a sprint to tackle Joy there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, there's all my DC.